Alright, here we are again with another Commander game featuring Krond the Dawn-Clad. Again, if you want to see the full deck list, go to puremtgo.com and look for my articles Conqueror and Commander. The opponents in this game are going to be Rubinia Soulsinger, who's typically bans control, Thromok, who's going to throw out a bunch of critters and eat them and come out really big, and Black Mike. Black Mike is kind of like a big red flag as soon as you see him. Just because he tends to be a combo deck sometimes using stuff like Triskelion. But this guy is pretty quick to point out that he's just a regular old zombie deck, so we're going to see if he tells the truth or not. This is my opening hand. It's only got 2 lands and not a whole lot of early action, so that's obviously going to go back. I get 3 lands plus Sakura Tribe Elder, and you have my Elder. Yeah, see, he plays Maggot Carrier first turn, so he's obviously just a goofy zombie deck. Let's see what we got going on here. Unholy Grotto, Nin Deathmantle. I'm going to be ramping and just like playing a bunch of lands here soon. Not a whole lot from anybody else. Maggot Carrier goes after Rubinia. I get a forest, play a plains, drop Solemn Simulacrum, get another forest. So it's entirely possible if I really wanted to, I could play Krond next turn, but especially since I don't have any enchantments in hand, I don't think it's necessary. Plus he's really big and scary and people get worried. The Mikaeus player plays Coffin Queen. This is awesome. I love this card. It's a nice little bit of ways to steal things out of people's graveyards. Highly recommended. Here comes the Elder. Rubinia's doing nothing. Thromok is a little scared of Coffin Queen too, so he goes after Mike. And Coffin Queen tries to steal my Sakura Tribe Elder to help out his Mikaeus' mana problems, but Thromok flings his Viridian Emissary at the Coffin Queen. It's important that there's actually a fling in the deck, because again, Thromok gets really big, and fling can be a one-hit kill. But unfortunately it's something that I forget later on. So I sack the Elder, I get some more lands, I draw an Umbra finally. And I've got Greater Good. So it's always nice to have a little sack outlet for when I have Krond. I'll play an Enchantress and play Greater Good so that I can draw a card off it. Winds of Wrath, nice little Wrath spell. Rubinia plays Muldrifter, paying full price. Has to discard a land. Thromok plays Helm of Possession, which is kind of annoying. Something I've got to worry about. Luckily I do have a sack outlet. Mikaeus plays Dreadslaver. That's just a cool, goofy looking zombie. I decided to bring Krond out because I know that I can sack him to Greater Good if I really need to. Rubinia does nothing. Helm of Possession. Thromok, he doesn't have a creature to sack to it. Mikaeus plays Grave Pact. Grave Pact is a bigger concern for me than Helm of Possession. Dreadslaver's coming after me again. I let it through. I'm down to 34. Alright, so I could put Felidar Umbra on Krond. I've got some stuff in my hand that I'm not really worried about. You know, I can fill my hand up a little bit with Idyllic Tutor and the Verduran Enchantress, and I've already got an Enchantress in play. So I figure I'm going to try and take out the Grave Pact at this point. But then Rubinia plays Reweave. Just a goofy spell. It's got a ton of text. But you know what? I mean, it's good at what it does, which is to make things... I mean, it's like an all-purpose sort of like removal spell, even though it costs 6. So I end up sacrificing it to Greater Good. I lose the Felidar Umbra to the graveyard here. I get a bunch of cards, including Primal Command and Swiftfoot Boots, which is nice. I'll go ahead and put the boots out, and I'll tutor up Rancor, I think. Oh no, Sylvan Library. There we go. So that I can get a little more reach. I attack Rubinia with my Simulacrum, and I draw the Heartbeast, but I don't need it right now. Deadwood Treefolk gets the Muldrifter back. Here we are, Fury Stoked Giant. Good with a lot of critters. I again get the Dreadslaver Wrath here. Let me move this a little bit so that I can actually see what's going on. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go down to 30. Bunch of land coming up, so I'll go ahead and bring Krond out. I probably honestly should have just played Kodama's Reach right there, but I've got the Swiftfoot Boots and I can go ahead and put Rancor on him. So what I'll do is I'll attack Rubinia and get rid of Grave Pact. He evokes Muldrifter, and he's not worried about losing Muldrifter because he's going to play... Oh. He's going to play Supreme Verdict. And I'm going to sack Krond again to Greater Good. And I'm drawing a ton of cards now. Nim Deathmantle brings back the Dreadslaver, and Unholy Grotto gets Strip Mined. The only time it did get used was to get the Enchantress, his Sorceress Queen or whatever, back into the top of his graveyard, or top of his library. Sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking here. Michaeloth comes out. He's going to make a ton of dudes. Coffin Queen, that's who I meant. Dreadslaver's really big and comes after me again. I'm down to 24. Okay. The life, my life total is going to be an issue soon. It'd be nice if I drew a Reliquary Tower, but unfortunately I don't. I go ahead and get out Winds of Wrath to destroy Michaeloth specifically, but the other two guys are not bad at all. And I do a little bit of ramping with Skyshot Claim and then Sterling Grove, and I discard some land. Muldrifter comes out again, just like an ultimate value creature. Thromok does nothing. Dark Knight plays Soulless one and equips him. I go ahead and play Rabid Wombat. Oh, I love the Wombat. He's so rabid. And then I also played Mosswort Bridge. I'm going to enchant the Wombat with Rancor and Bear Umbra. And he's big now. And I go after Thromok because Thromok is going to be scary. The Wombat at this point is an 8/7. I'm not really worried about over-equipping him with stuff because, number one, he's got an Umbra on him. But I've also got 3 Dreams in my hand in case I want to get more auras. And since my land's untapped, I get to cast Primal Command and search up, or gain some life. So I'm back up to 31, search up Sun Titan. And I bring Sun Titan out, and I enchant him with an Umbra as well. I think it's Felidar Umbra. Yes, it is. So I've got 2 guys with Umbra that are big. Muldrifter comes after me. I'm down to 29. Rubinia plays Wrath of God. Well, that gets rid of my Umbras, and it makes Rabid Wombat a lot smaller. He's sad. Mikaeus is drawing cards off Skull Clamp. Oh, Phyrexian Metamorph copying Sun Titan, who's going to bring back Strip Mine. And my Mosswort Bridge gets Strip Mined, but my Scavenging Ooze can come out to play. Ooze doesn't really play a huge part in this game. Thromok tries to Genesis Wave for 3 and only hits Soul Ring. But Terastodon goes in his graveyard, which is important later. Mikaeus plays Mutilate to wipe out everything. And I lose all my creatures, which is a bummer. I sacrifice Sun Titan to Greater Good. And there's Mirari's Wake to help me out later on. Kiss, Animate Deads, the Terastodon, getting rid of my Swiftfoot Boots and my Sterling Grove. That's just sad. One of my guys is Celestial Mantle, one of the cards I draw, so I'm going to try and pump up my life total a little bit. First I play Mirari's Wake to make my elephants bigger, then I enchant one of them with Celestial Mantle, and I attack Rubinia with my 7/7 elephant, and I go up to 52 life. I also play Serra Sanctum, and I'm able to do a couple different things here. The first one is I cast Academy Rector, then I Source the Plowshares, the Terastodon, then I use Eternal Witness to get Sun Titan back. The plan is to use Sun Titan to bring back my Swiftfoot Boots so that I can bring Krond out. But, as we all know, plans don't always stick around and work out the way you want them to. Oh no, I didn't do that actually. I brought back Sterling Grove, and I enchanted Sun Titan with Rancor. Oh well. There's Palaka Worm. Gain some life. And Survival. Survival is one of those cards that makes people like scared. And so Thromok does an interesting thing here and decides to blow up Thromok instead of my Sterling Grove. Or blow up Survival using a Tooth and Nail entwined. So there's a couple interesting things that happen here. He Tooth and Nails for Eternal Witness and Acidic Slime, but he puts into play the Slime and Symbiotic Worm, which means that he's still holding the Eternal Witness. This is something that I forget while I'm playing. The Slime takes out Survival instead of Sterling Grove, and the Rubinia player quits. So, you know, one of those things that happens on MTGO. Mikaeus comes out and plays Decree of Annihilation. Or not, Decree of Pain. Now here's the crazy thing is that I've been sacrificing a lot of stuff to Greater Good, which means that my deck is getting much smaller. I'm down to 28 cards. Symbiotic Worm leaves a ton of little insects. I use Academy Rector to pull up Asceticism. I go ahead and play Krond. I really wish I'd saved my Sun Titan so that I could cast him now to bring back the boots, but hindsight's 20/20. I've got a bunch of fun auras, and I used Return to Dust to get rid of some stuff. I don't remember. I think it was like the Helm. Oh, Nim Death Mantle and Skull Clamp. And then I put Firefly Flicker Form on Krond so that he can escape whatever's gonna come. I still haven't drawn Reliquary Tower, which is pretty friggin' annoying, but you know, whatever. I cast Oratog and put a Rancor on him. My plan is to try and just you know, use Rancor to make everything big. I get rid of 3 Dreams because I've pretty much seen all the auras in my deck. Thromok doesn't do anything. Mikaeus, Beacon of Unrest, my Sun Titan. Everybody loves my Sun Titan. Jesus. To Animate Dead. The Acidic Slime to get rid of Sterling Grove. I sacrifice my Sterling Grove to get Battle Mastery on top of my library. Hopefully that'll speed things up. Mikaeus is out there. I go ahead and get rid of Sun Titan. Fleshbach Marauder is going to make me sacrifice my Oratog. And Acidic Slime comes back under Thromok's control, but he uses it to blow up my Mirari's Wake. That's a little disappointing, but you know, not unheard of. I go ahead and keep Battle Mastery in my hand. I take an extra card because I've got some life. And I make Krond big, and I decide to just take out Mikaeus with one swing. I bring out Krosan Tusker. I get rid of Acidic Slime. And I go ahead and hit Mikaeus and kill him with my large double striking Krond. Now, and this is where I make my mistake. Thromok still has Eternal Witness in his hand, and he has Fling in the graveyard, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes to feed Thromok, which is going to make him real big. And then he's going to bring out like 1 or 2 other guys to feed to Thromok, and If I was smart, what I would have done was Wrathed right now, and then just played my Tusker as a beater, and then try and go down that road to, replay Krond at a later date. I've only got 23 cards in my deck, so I don't have a whole lot of time, but I could have played for the long game. Instead, I just completely forgot, and he uses Winding Canyons to bring out Eternal Witness at the end of his turn and get Fling back in his yard. My last-ditch effort is to use Momentous Fall to sacrifice Krond. See, there's another creature. And Thromok's going to be in the 60s or something like that. Unfortunately, whatever I draw isn't going to be enough. I know I don't have an answer. My only hope right here is that he doesn't sacrifice all his creatures to Thromok, but he does, because that's a smart play. And I die. He flings. I go down to -7. That's a little disappointing. I mean, I could have, if I was thinking harder, I could have done something, but I wasn't, and that was it. And even after the Momentous Fall, I only had 11 cards in my deck. So it is possible to just eat through this deck real quick. But anyways, I thought that was an interesting game. Hope you enjoyed it.